Hey everybody, this is Tiffany coming to you with another episode of Meet the Trainers for the 2019 Tactical Conference. And it is my great pleasure to introduce to everybody Mr. Chuck Haggard, who is returning for, I don't know, he's been teaching at Tac-Con for a while now. But Chuck, you can fill us in on that. Why don't you take a second and introduce yourself to all the Tac-Con attendees?
I'm Chuck Haggard. My company's Agile Training and Consulting out of Topeka, Kansas, and I have been teaching at TACCon for a little bit. This year, I'm kind of teaming up with Cecil Birch, and we're doing complementary training blocks on the subject matter that we're covering. Excuse me. So the premise of my class that feeds into Cecil's class is more of a software class for people who carry guns. A lot of people in the concealed carry world, you get to the range, shoot your guns, things like that. There's a lot of things that you can do at indoor ranges or solo practice, like Tom puts out things, Claude Warner put out different drills that people can do, and you can do all that on your own. Some of these other skills, Cecil's a jiu-jitsu guy. You can't do jiu-jitsu by yourself. Obviously, you got to get to a jiu-jitsu gym to do that. Some of this other stuff, some of the things I'm going to hit on in my class, he's going to hit on his class, you need other people for. So at TACCon, since we got a whole bunch of people there, that's part of the premise of this class is the ability to make use of the fact that we got extra people in class to train each other or help train each other. So my class is going to introduce the students that have never seen it before or give them practice in managing unknown contacts, which Craig Douglas, of course, had put the label on. And the whole Chivalrous Collective has been teaching for some time now. So I'm going to put that contextually with street encounters, kind of my take on managing unknown contacts. Avoiding criminal victimization, as William April says, failing the interview of a street crime. And that's going to segue into, if you're somebody that carries OC, when to introduce that into a defense of an encounter. If you don't carry OC, your options from there, if you have to physically defend yourself. I'm also going to cover very quickly Cecil's bid on how to survive the knockout game, how to survive the first couple of seconds of a physical attack on the street. And then that would segue into Cecil's block, which would be in-fight weapons access of your handgun, and then how to avoid that grappling range stuff, which you don't want to be in. Because ideally, if you're using a handgun, it's at distance. It's a distance tool. It's not something you want to be using at very, very close quarters by choice if you don't have to. So the content of my class flows directly into the content of Cecil's class. I got a 2-hour block, he's got a 2-hour block. We kind of teamed up on who's going to teach what, so that if a student wants to take just 2 hours of one or 2 hours of the other, they're complete blocks. Or if you want to do the 2 hours followed by the 2 hours, you'll have a 4-hour block with a lot of continuity of subject matter. And it'll be software skills, training skills that you can't do in other places. Like you can't go to the indoor range and do this. You can't do this solo. So making use of the TACCon formula or paradigm, we thought we'd put together a class that would give people a lot of bang for the buck for a couple hours work.
That sounds great. And I love that you guys are going to offer some context to layer on top of all of the marksmanship training and the kind of two-dimensional, one line, everybody on the firing line training that folks are going to get. This will allow folks to put that in a little bit of practice. So I'm really excited about that. Guys, Chuck's class is in the hand-to-hand bay on Saturday morning at 8 a.m. It's called Integrating Different Street Encounter Skills. And as Chuck mentioned, that's going to segue directly into Cecil Birch's block, Getting Your Gun in the Fight, which starts at 10 a.m. in the same spot, Saturday morning in the hand-to-hand bay. Chuck, real quick, can you go over what condition you want everybody's gear to be in when they come to your class?
I'm going to have, if anybody gets a hold of me, they don't have a dummy gun. I got guns, but ideally, your concealed carry setup, how you carry it, if you carry a gun, how you carry it, your holster, a dummy gun complementary to your carry gear. So like if you carry a Glock 19, then have a Glock 19 dummy gun. If you are a person that carries a knife, you have a dummy knife, bring it. If you carry OC, I'm going to have a limited amount of inert OC. If you bring your own inert OC and you want to get some drilling in on that, we'll have plenty of opportunity to let people work the tools in the condition that they carry them. If there's something you want to try out, hey Chuck, I want to try out this one and I bought an inert because I carry this kind of thing, perfect chance to do that. But no live blades, no live ammo, no live guns, because we're going to be doing a lot of interpersonal stuff. And there will be like pat down, there's safety check pat down, so that everybody makes sure we don't introduce any live weapons into the training, both at my block and Cecil's block. So ideally, if somebody really wants to work the skills, they're going to have their carry gear, and they're going to have a dummy gun, inert weapons. If they carry a knife, if they carry OC, bring all that stuff with you. You get a chance to work with all that.
Perfect. But if they don't have dummy versions of all of their EDC and they want to take your class, they can still come, right?
Yes, they can. And even if you don't carry a gun or a knife or anything, the managed gun no contacts, the surviving the knockout game, the quick drilling, what we call default cover, all of that will be covered. It would still be useful. Obviously, Cecil's class is introducing working with a handgun. That would be more specific to people who are carrying pistols. But with my block, I think he'd still get some good use out of it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Chuck. Once again, everybody, Chuck's class is 8 a.m. on Saturday in the hand-to-hand bay, integrating different CCW street encounter skills. Chuck, we're all looking forward to seeing you in New Orleans, and be sure to bring your mud boots. We'll see you down there.